Hey, senders, welcome back to another episode of the Segment Podcast. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hey, tonight's guest is a very special guest of mine and also a good friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend is here. One of the legends is here, Mr. Don Szabo. Welcome aboard,
Hey,
Don.
buddy. How's it, Mark?
Yoo-hoo. It's
Good,
good,
yeah.
brother. Thank you for being on the Segment Podcast, man. I'm so stoked you're here.
Yeah, no
Uh,
worries.
people see you out there and they're like, oh my God, who is that person? And then they find out it's Szabo. And then they go, my
Who's that
God,
old
Don.
guy still doing stuff?
No, that guy's,
That guy mid-50s. You can't do that kind of stuff.
yeah, he's throwing the bike around. He's like 40 feet in the air. He's hitting everything blind. Everyone's just amazed. We're like, whoa, you and Caballero, just amazing, motivational, inspirational type riders. We all elevate when you guys are around.
Well, we've been doing some stuff for a while. I've got 45 years of action sports under my belt, so
Yeah,
that's the bonus.
man, let's dig in a little bit about that, Szabo. When did all this action sports stuff start for you?
Well, I mean, I got my first skateboard when I was 9 years old. I was sponsored by the time I was 12, and Skater Cross was my home park, and
Holy
skated
cow!
every day. I mean, I was just such a passion of mine, and that's where it started. I don't know how deep or far you want me to go, because obviously that turned into snowboarding for a job, and then motocross, and now mountain biking, surfing sprinkled in all across. But those are the
Man,
5 action sports right there: surf, skate, snow, moto, and mountain bike. All you need. Bam.
dang. So 9 years old, and then snowboarding. So 9 years old, you're skateboarding. Where did you grow up?
That was out in the San Fernando Valley. So we had a skate park called Skater Cross that I would skate a mile and a half to every day, skateboard all day, and then skate a mile and a half home. And, that was obviously summer months and after school. Anyway, that was the deal back then out in the San Fernando Valley.
Wow. So you're out in the valley. You're skateboarding at 9 years old. You're hitting the skater cross park. And is that like a slalom course, or what kind of course? What kind of
Yeah,
skate
well,
park
yeah,
was it?
it was a park, not a pool per se. I mean, they did later have pools, but yeah, it was a snake run. So you can make all kinds of crazy cool lines and, make up different things. But anyway, it was a blast. And then other skate parks, and that's where I've crossed paths with Caballero way back, and skating Lance Mountains ramp, and with Asoy, and Marina Del Rey skate park was his park over the hill, and Tony Hawk was down at Del Mar skate park. So anyway, crossed paths with all these guys, and early days through ramp days and backyard pools, and anyway, that's a whole different life and other great chapters of it.
Yeah, and you've got some good footage on your YouTube channel that you just launched, and there's a bunch of stuff that's going to be going up on that YouTube channel that has like some current stuff with your current passions, but you're also loading up some amazing action sports from the past. I think one of them was a vert contest I saw you at, and was it Bad Boy? I saw the logo out there. What contest was that?
Yeah, that was Life's a Beach. It was, Life's a Beach / Bad Boy Club. That was that company. And yeah, a friend of mine, I mean, that is my last post, was kind of my history of action sports to now. So my current sponsor at the time said, hey, you should go check out this contest. I wasn't a contest guy. I mean, like I said, I skated with all these guys here and there, but, local friends mostly, different spots. But anyway, said to go check out this contest, and I went and did it. And out of the blue, I did really well. I wasn't a contest guy, and all of a sudden I beat some real heavy guys, and won the whole class, and then went and did pro class and still podiumed in that. And like I say, then Life's a Beach and Bad Boy Club and JT and all kind of picked me up, and I was going to be a pro skater because my dad at the time was saying, you got to do something to have a real job. And I'm just going to be a pro skater.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then they learned I could snowboard. So it ended up turning into, hey, we'll pay you to, do this new sport called snowboarding. And, you do that for us instead. So
Was
that
this
was
all
the plan.
under Life's a Beach company, or did many different companies pick you up in the skateboard world, and then did one particular one kind of push you over into the snowboard world? Because you're a kid in the valley growing up skateboarding. How did this whole snowboarding thing happen?
Right. Well, I already snowboarded, but then, like I say, and it was, well, like Jamie Mossberg was my team manager for Life's a Beach. And then this guy, Sonny Miller, who passed away, and sucks so many people and just flip out. But anyway, yeah, anyway, they kind of collabed and knew that I snowboarded and were taking photos of me doing that. And they're all, wow, we can get, you know, promotion and whatnot. And they had skaters already, you know, as, you know, going pro and whatnot. So it was just, I don't know, we kind of collabed and said, hey, let's just kind of focus on the snowboard thing. So I was cool with that. Wow. Making a decent living and being able to eventually travel in the world, and had 10 snowboard models and, well, worldwide, probably 100 magazine shots, and a blast for a dozen years. So it's cool. Good times.
Wow. So 12 years in the snowboard world. And did you also balance the skateboard world into that, or was that just a transition? Like you started in the skateboard world, turned pro, and then kind of picked up momentum in the snowboard world?
Yeah, I mean, I still would kind of skate, whatever, here and there, but I've kind of gone through gears. I mean, like Cab, he still, you know, he goes back and forth through all his gears, but I just went, you know, skate, then snowboard, and then moto, and then mountain bike. Like I say, surfing kind of sprinkled in, all of them kind of sprinkled across, but focus was those at different times. And now my focus is mountain biking.
Yeah.
What I love doing.
Yeah, you're so good. You're so good at it, man. I can only imagine just everything you do must be so good. Anything action sports related, it's just incredible to watch you on the mountain bike for sure.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of easy in a way because I, you know, in the back of my head, I still call it, laugh at it, but you know, I've jumped 180 feet on my dirt bike, you know, 100-foot all the time. And so looking at these little 20, 30, 40 footers, it just kind of in my head, comparatively, it's not too much, you know. I mean, it does bite you sometimes though, but overall, you know, like I say, I've got the eye from back when I've done, you know, 2-story jumps and, like I say, 50-foot cliffs on snowboards, and
Jeez.
Just the eyeball of back then and now looking at what's in front of me. I mean, there are crazy guys that do insane stuff on bikes, but once again, our little playground stuff that we've got doesn't really faze me too much. Although, like I say, it has bitten me here and there.
Yeah, but man, what a crazy, cool like mindset to have, to come from snowboarding. I mean, I'm looking behind you. There's some pictures back there. There's one where you're like, I don't know, what is that? 20, 30 feet in the air off your right hand shoulder. You're just yeah. What is that?
It's a mine shaft. So that was in Purgatory, Colorado, and whatever, mine shaft, jump off of it, and yeah, it's probably about 30 feet, and you probably go about 60 feet in distance.
Jeez.
And,
Jeez, Szabo.
Like I said, in that one, I don't know, this probably can't see that one too well, but it's off of probably a good 50-foot cliff that you end up probably getting 60 or more feet of air. That's in Creatures of Habit 6. You know, we did a video series, Creatures of Habit 1 through 6, and it was Creatures of Habit 3 and 4 that we did the Double0 Szabo thing that kind of stuck. So
yeah, tell us a little bit about that. So, I mean, probably back then you're probably a big pioneer in the snowboard world, like Creatures of Habit. You know, I remember those videos, but there weren't a ton of guys sending like 50 feet off cliffs and mine shafts and things like that. Were you just kind of pioneered through that and just really sparked everybody else?
I wouldn't say that at all. In fact, like I say, I grew up in Southern Cal, even though I snowboarded all over the place. I was always based in California, where there's guys in Tahoe and Washington and Utah that, you know, they've got big rocks to send like this stuff in their backyard. So, you know, Damian Sanders and Steve Graham and Sean Farmer and Parada and, you know, whole whatever handful. Like I say, back then there was not tons of different pros, but anyway, there was guys on Terry Kidwell, OG, and Palmer, and a bunch of guys that were badasses. So it wasn't me. We all, let's call it, pushing each other and just having fun, loving it.
Yeah. And where did the whole Double0 Szabo come from? Did it come from one of those movies that you did?
Well, that ended up being these little skit movies we did at the end of, excuse me, Creatures 3 and 4.
Okay.
So Dementor Chowder Pilots and Plastic Soldiers were the names of those, in that series. But anyway, it was started when me and Freeman were just on our way back from Canada. We were just talking in the plane, and then him and Brett Johnson, who was Q, the professor guy, he's such a good actor. Like I say, I'm worthless. Like I say, even when I try to do I do my YouTube thing with you, but I mean, I'm definitely not going to win any acting, whatever, but I have fun. It's all good. It's a good place to keep things. But anyway, we started talking about it. They collaborated a lot and came up with a whole little script thing, and I just pieced into it and had fun with it, and came out with this, like I say, the Double0 Szabo thing, and that stuck. In fact, I was almost a little bit mad when I was at high performance snowboarding, going, hey, look, I'm jumping off 50-foot cliffs, and all you guys can talk about is Double0, and that's all that's really left. And like I say, what I used to do is nothing compared to the skills of what these kids do now. But anyway, it's just all different channels and chapters of life, man. So
yeah, no, but you guys are definitely pushing the boundaries then, and creating what it is today. And still see you pushing the boundaries today when we're out on the bikes. It's incredible. So you're living in Southern California. You're a pro snowboarder traveling the world. Were there seasons for you? Because you mentioned earlier you weren't really a contest guy in the skateboard world, but in the snowboard world, was that different? Did you do a lot of contests, or was it mainly go out and film some crazy stuff, and that's how you were able to do make a living that way, or how did that work?
Well, in the beginning, I mean, and we kind of set the way for it to go. In the beginning, you kind of had to do contests because that was just how the circuit went, so you had to, as a snowboarder, as a pro, go out and do the contest. So yeah, I had to do probably out of that, let's call it that 12 years, 6 years doing the World Cup and having to go to Japan and Europe and different, the pro tour across the States and Canada. And then, like I say, we kind of set the road to be able to, hey, telling our sponsors, hey, you guys can get promotion by us going out and doing what we love to do, and free riding, and, in helicopters and powder and getting movie sections and, magazine shots. That's not just the, little half pipe contest circus for whatever contest version. But anyway, so 6 other years I was able to go just do whatever we wanted, and just
dang,
love it.
That's very cool. We got some folks on the line that want to say hi. Timothy Haley says, "What's up, everybody?" He's out here in the audience. John W is here. What's up, John W? He says, "That's awesome. Laughs at 40-footers. No kidding, right, John? It's crazy. Let me tell you, ride with this guy." Scouts Out's on the line. What's up, Mark? Up in Central Coast, he says, "LOL. Dang, that's some flight time." And then Will C is in the house. He's just wondering where we're located. So I'm Southern California. Szabo is just on the other side of the Ortega Pass of Amis in Orange County.
Yep. Near Laguna. Got some good trails right close to here.
Yeah. So okay, so moving through to the action sports, and I promise we're going to get to the mountain biking, but Don Szabo's background is so diverse and interesting. So he goes pro skateboarder to pro snowboarder. He's based out of California, and he's able to travel around. He's doing contests and shooting clips for movies. After about 12 years of that, Moto came up next. And how did you transition into Moto? How did that? And before that, if you wouldn't mind, tell us about the whole helicopter crash, because I know that people probably want to know about. You barely dodged that, or you were waiting for somebody, and they they were out filming and they crashed, and you thought that they left them, or they left you.
Right. Well, no, it wasn't me, actually. There's 2 different ones up in Alaska, but the one when we were filming for Double0 Szabo, though, Dana, who ended up partnering up with Freeman, and they made the Creatures of Habit. I'm sorry, we did Creatures of Habit, and then they did Crusty Demons of Dirt. But anyway, it was Dana when he was back as a pro snowboarder, and he was one of the bad guys shooting guns at me. And in the same helicopter that I was 2,000 feet up in the day before, and it's just a piston engine helicopter, not an auto rotate. So, regular, like 8-cylinder piston engine. And they were shooting like some little side shots for Double0 where Dana was having to shoot down live bullets at Freeman, who's shooting, the shot of him, looks like he's shooting down at me, but he's shooting live bullets down at Freeman, but just off to the side. But the helicopter motor just seized. And luckily they were only 50 feet off the ground. So they fell 50 feet. And me and Matt Goodman were just sitting on the side of the road in Valdez, Alaska this whole time. Didn't see them go down. We just thought they were getting all artsy, like, going further over other mountains, just doing their artsy film stuff.
Yeah.
So we said, you know what? They'll make their way back to Valdez town. So we just drove back, and then they come like 3 hours later telling us the story that they actually crashed the helicopter, had to hike through the snow to the road, hitchhike to get back to the town. But anyway.
Dude, that's crazy.
One
that's
story out of way too many.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Will says awesome extreme sports life. Totally.
Yeah, yes,
So
it has been.
yeah, so you're a dozen years in snowboard, and then where did the moto part come in? Because that's kind of where your lens for mountain bike comes from.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, besides like snowboarding too, riding stuff in Alaska and Washington and Utah and heliboarding and whatnot, and just picking lines. But
Man.
Moto became around because, like I said, Dana, that was a pro snowboarder, he came to Freeman telling him, hey, let's make freestyle motocross movies like the snowboard movies that you make. So they partnered up for Crusty Demons of Dirt. And once that blew up, I mean, Creatures of Habit series was done. Just no more snow, because that just exploded. So yeah, I mean, back then when that crossover happened, I loved riding motocross. In fact, it ended my snowboard career, but that's a different story.
Oh, wow.
But because I loved it, but it's very consequential. Like I say, you're jumping 100-footers all the time, and if it can be done, I think I can do it, but it doesn't always work out that way. Anyway, so yeah, I was crossing paths with motocrossers, and like whatever, name dropping would be McGrath and Emig and some of these guys that were filming for I keep getting Creatures and Crusty mixed up, but anyway, for Crusty Demons of Dirt, they were filming for that, and I ended up living with Seth Enslow, who was one of the original freestyle motocrossers. So my feet were in the motocross world, and crossing with Metzger and Deegan, and like I say, these are name dropping guys, but I had my friends, just like skateboarding too. Drop a few names, but you cross paths with all the badasses, and if they can do it, you think you can do it, and it can be done. It can be done, but if it goes wrong, it's not good.
Yeah. So you kind of got into it that way, started riding, and then now that's something that you have to do competitively in order to make ends meet, right? Or was it more of the movie thing again, that you were able to do movies and kind of promote the companies that were supporting you? Or
no, Moto was always, I mean, all of it is just fun to me. I mean, it once again, yes, became a job for 12 years on the snow thing, but it's just the love of the sport. So Moto was never my job. In fact, at that point, when that switched up, and like I say, I came home, well, I was at home actually after one shoulder surgery from snowboarding. So I was already out for that season, and then I got it fixed in the summer, and Seth came home saying, hey, we're going to go out and ride G-Spot, which is a rad motocross place. I was 2 months out of surgery, and you're supposed to wait 4 months before you ride. And I found out why, because all I was doing was, I'm jumping doubles and triples with the boys. And all I did was over jump a triple, and it just ripped apart all the work that they did, because they take all your ligaments and tendons and attach it. And that's what it has to do. It has to grow. So even though I was able to smoothly lift weights, and I was bored as hell, and said, let's go ride, that's what blew that apart. And
wow.
They fixed it again, and then next season it just fell out super easy because when it blew out, it blew out backwards, so I had loose stuff going on in the back. So then they fixed the back and the front. But
oh man,
2 years for no contest results, mag shots, video. My sponsors said they couldn't keep paying me, and just kind of a cocky late 20s guy just saying, you know what, I made you a lot of money, and yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
Right. Now, yeah.
I understood though, because no, then like I said, when I was doing the motocross thing, that's when I had a print business also. So
Gotcha.
I did that, and then it was just my passion to get out and get my adrenaline fix through Moto, which is one of the best adrenaline fixes there are, but one of the biggest consequences there can be too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Man, you were like going for the life of going big, going big, and then now in Moto, you did Moto for a decade or so, didn't you?
Yeah, more than that, even just, but once again, it was my release. So, I mean, I was
Yeah,
doing the whole, whatever family thing, and, wife and business and family. But that was my action sports release. And it's,
yeah.
like I say, it's a great one. So,
Yeah, definitely. So pro snowboarder, 9 years old, you started, 11 years old, you got sponsored, and then just went into snowboard, went into moto, and then where did the crossover from moto to mountain biking begin? How did you get here?
well, that's kind of a funny one that, well, like I said, I had multiple surgeries from Moto. I mean, I kept doing it, both ACLs, like I say, ended up being 4 shoulder surgeries, and then it was fine. Like I say, my joke was I rode snowboards for a living for 12 years and got paid to do it. And then for close to 20 years, I rode Moto and broke myself for free. So that's my little one sentence riddle that kind of covers a lot.
Right.
But anyway, like I say, multiple surgeries, and like I say, both ACLs, tib fib. I even can see my thing. I can possibly even turn around to you. But anyway, tib fib in 03, and then my tib fib in 2015, which was a false neutral problem, which was just a bummer. But to the end of, or I can go back on things, but I'm sitting on my Harley up at top of the world because I can't do any of the sports that I like to do because I just had my rod taken out of my lower tibia again. So you gotta wait 1 year with it in, and then they move the kneecap out of the way and pull the rod out, or knock the rod out. I don't know if you can look it up. It's crazy how they do it. I actually kind of halfway woke up when it happened.
Whoa.
Obviously needled
Put
me
you
back
back.
to sleep, but
Yeah. You don't want to see this one.
yeah, and I could hear them going tink, 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 tink. That's kind of
Jeez.
yeah, it was gnarly. But anyway, so I'm up there just looking out at Catalina Island, and this guy rides by on a mountain bike. And I always thought, those things, whatever, I can get into the story. So this guy rides by, Steve Carrillo, and he looks at me and he goes, Don Szabo? And I'm like, yeah. This guy's Steve Carrillo from junior high. I haven't not seen him for over 30 years.
Whoa.
And we got to talking, and yeah, this is the part where I can think it's funny because I'm all mountain biking. That's ridiculous. Why would anyone buy a bicycle that costs as much as my dirt bike? I could jump 100 feet all day long. What do you got? You got to work your butt off to go up the hills. I'd jump, 30 feet up hills, just pinging rocks and this and that. And that sounds stupid. I'm not into it. And he's off, dude, you need to rehab your leg. You need to get back in shape. I got an extra bike for you. Just come try it, man.
Nice.
So I
Good
went
for
out and did it
him.
with him and caught the bug, man.
Did you really? First time out, you caught the bug first time?
No, I definitely didn't catch the bug. In fact, riding from, I remember the hills that I had to even hike my bike out, it was a little bit of a strain at first, but no, it definitely grew on me pretty quickly because once again, the uphill thing wasn't ever my favorite, but it got me to do my downhill fix, which is what I still live for.
Yeah. Throwing the bike sideways every which way, turning lines that aren't lines into lines on the trail. Yeah.
Blowing and going.
Yeah, flowing and going for sure. A couple more folks are jumping on here. El Duran says, Double0 Trail Dogs. Trail Dogs. The boys are on. They said, "What's up, dudes?"
Yeah.
And they said,
"Dogs there a little bit of a while."
Yeah, saw some footage of you. Yeah, saw some footage of you guys just recently up at Snow Valley, I think.
Yeah.
Trail Dogs here says, "I learned too quick that riding moto hurt too much to crash." Oh, and then look who just jumped into the audience here, Mr. Adam Mock saying
Yeah.
Szabo the legend, all caps, shouting it out. So so you're getting into mountain biking. How long ago were you getting into the mountain bike scene? How long ago
Well,
was that?
that was 6 years ago. So say right around that 2015. That's when my wife passed from cancer also. But yeah, that was redirect and a release, and the place to go and clear my thoughts and get into a beautiful place, because that wasn't a beautiful thing to go through.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Don, that that happened to you. That's lots of love and shout outs to Heather. So if you felt comfortable talking about that, I know we talked about the action sports world, but maybe was that world difficult to balance with having a family and starting up a relationship at that point in time?
Um, no, it kind of went good. Like I said, I had my print business. I mean, we had a pretty good sized business, made stickers and banners and all kinds of signage, and I was just business guy. It was more of a weekend warrior thing on the Moto thing, and because I owned my own business, it was flexible. So if boys were going out to Beaumont or Dumont or wherever we were riding, I was able to mix it up and have that in the mix, and did a lot of camping and riding. Guys from Three Brothers Racing have been friends for 20 years, and no, it's a family sport, per se. So
Yeah.
I was able to mix it all around and do it. So, but yeah, going through the down of her cancer to taking care of her at the end, though, that's a tough one. So
Yeah, man, I bet, Don. So 6 years ago, she passed with cancer. Was she diagnosed early on, and was she able to fight it for a little while, or?
without getting too deep into this, get into some other stuff, but
Yeah.
she was diagnosed, but it's just a downhill battle, and once it metastasizes, then it's just like putting out fires all over you until the flames just take you out.
Yeah, totally. So, so 6 years ago, kind of is the same time that she passed, that you crossed over into this mountain biking and discovered this new passion that you have.
Yep.
And this new passion has brought you a ton of friends, a lot of great adventure.
Yeah.
It's been able to take your moto and snowboard passions that you had and skill back up to the present day. And we all scratch our heads when we watch you ride and just go, damn, he is totally just, you know, different, just amazing. So,
I just
so do
flow
you,
though. Tricks are for kids, so I'm just kind of a flower and throw it around here and this and that. But I mean, like I say, compared to real guys, so much hats off to every action sports, generation now. It's just insane. But we have fun, so it's all good.
yeah. Oh man, I saw you do that nose bonk at Vale on the jump line that one time we were out there.
Yeah, that's right. New
You
school.
got, you got some new
Without trying,
school.
that was a little action, but it worked out.
So Don, tell us a little bit about, okay, you got a mountain bike. You got your buddy had an extra one. What was your first mountain bike that you got?
Well, so I bought that one from him. It was a $500 Giant Rain 2010 with a 120 for suspension, but worked for me. I didn't really know much better, and riding with these other mountain guys, and they wouldn't jump stuff. That's back when Oakley was there, and there's some decent little jumps at Oakley and clicking that stuff, and these guys that have been riding for a long time wouldn't even hit it. So kind of scratch my head, go, why not? Stuff small and easy, but anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first one, and then I actually went up to Oregon and rode this guy Chris Jameson that worked for GoPro at the time. This was after Heather passed away, and a bunch of people reached out saying, "Hey, come visit me in Colorado, come up to Canada." But Chris Jamo used to live up in Oregon, or he still does. He just doesn't work for GoPro anymore. But he said, "Hey, I got a GoPro for you. I got a fleet of bikes. Just come up and ride and chill." And then that's when I got to ride was my Intense Tracer, and he had a
Nice.
hookup with Intense, so I got one of those when I actually like this sport, and this thing's a lot better than the thing I was riding, so got one of
Yeah.
those. But now I'm a YT guy.
Yeah.
No shirt in there. There we go. It's all
Yeah.
bad. Dude,
Look at
it's
look at
backgrounded.
that. You know,
Look at
everything's
innocent.
reverse on the camera. We got
Yeah.
MTBDH here says Szabo ripped it up in Sky Park and did some sick whips. Dude is a skilled rider. That is true.
Thank you, sir.
That is Drew. He's out by you out there in the Orange County area. Trail Dogs MTB says always a blast riding with Szabo, or at least watching him disappear into the horizon.
I don't know about that, dude. Those guys ride good, man.
Yeah, no, the Trail
Like I say,
Dogs are
I'm not
good.
all about racing either. You know, I'm not trying to go fast. I'm just trying to have fun. That's the main point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but your fun is fast and throwing the bike around and everything. It's just is very cool. It's very cool. I actually just released a video of all of us at Sky Park this week, and there's a good follow cam of you, and you kind of get smaller and smaller. Then I see you pressing the brakes and like you come back into frame again.
Yeah.
that, that was really good. So okay, so you're on the Intense Tracer. You're up there, friends are reaching out. That's a great squad of friends, you know, to get you all set up into the world of mountain biking. And then you come back into California. And when did you get introduced to the YT brand? How did that become?
That's a good question. Oh, well, it was weird because so I was riding that Tracer for, like I say, close to that 5 years. And then I've been having my eye on, excuse me, having my eye on an e-bike. So I actually reached out to Brett Tippy. We've been following each other. I mean, he's, a legend mountain biker. Like I say, I'm just an old guy that used to do some sports. But anyway, he's a badass. I reached out to him, and that was right when the COVID thing kicked in. And I said, hey, you got any kind of hookup for me, I'd like to get an e-bike. He said, let me contact marketing. So he called marketing, and I was real lucky because there's still no inventory. It's ridiculous. But people that wanted bikes, but I actually got the show bike, the one that they would take around to different, events or contests or demos. And I got their top build bike for a pretty darn good deal. And they welcomed me on board. And so they're cool, and it's great. I mean, because they're not just some corporate company, I ride with the president, and you know the deal too. You have as well.
Yeah.
Jeff Mack is just, they're a real company, not just in it for dollars. They're just in it to run a proper business that is in the sport that we love doing. So it's awesome.
That's what I love about them. Shout out to Jeff Taylor, Jeff Nicholas, Elliot Mizrahi, the whole squad over there at YT, at the YT Mill. They're just guys that are like, lunchtime, grab the bike, let's go. And then they're out on the trails, and they're beasts out there. Trail Dogs know, they say Brett is a shredder.
Yep.
So that's how you ended up on the YT Decoy. And I think you're a great person to have on that YT Decoy. I mean, geez, you throw that thing around like it's a dirt jumper. So yeah, when you said in the video, don't kid yourself, you think you can't throw around these decoys. I throw them around all the time.
Once again, a dirt bike is 5 times heavier and jump 5 times as far. Maybe not quite that far, but anyway, it's just still a scaled down version. Obviously, for a bicycle, it's heavy to throw on an extra 20 pounds, but like I said, compared to riding a moto, it's very light. And I just adapt to whatever. I mean, whatever sport or whatever I'm on, just make it work.
Totally.
Some guys are so techy, like, I'll fix this and do that and a little head angle difference. And I don't even know or pay attention to that stuff. Just make it work, go with the flow.
Yeah. I saw that. You jumped on the Jeffsy that I just got and sent that thing down jump line. I was like, oh my God, there's no warm-up run for Szabo. He's just flicking that thing all over the place.
Getting a Jeffsy tomorrow too.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have an acoustic for a park bike, and then I got my decoy for any kind of uphills. So like I say, suffering uphill is not what I'm in it for. It's just my adrenaline downhill. That's what I like to do.
You did it well though. We switched bikes. For the folks that are watching, Szabo and I, for one lap, we switched bikes. I got on the YT Decoy. He got on the brand new YT Jeffsy that I got. And he pedaled it up the hill all the way to the top, and then barely rested and just dropped right in, like, ready to go. Like, wait, where did he go? Where is he? And off you went, man.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. And what I love about you with YT is, like, you always talk about going with the flow, rock on, live life, rock
Right.
on, have fun. And you always hear Jeff Taylor, the president of YT, say, "Hey, man, it's not always about first place. It's a lot of times about the F yeah. Like, let's
Yeah.
go, let's have a good time." Um,
Totally. That's what
so
it's always been about for me. I mean, like I say, all the sports that I've done. I mean, like I say, once I did have to compete for a while, but still, it's just for the love of the sport, of
yeah,
these sports. I've
yeah.
taken some great, like I say, surf trips too. Just peppered those in and did some different cool islands and places, different overseas trips on that stuff too. And just life's been a great adventure, man. So keep it
Yeah,
rolling.
you gotta definitely keep it rolling. I love your mindset, and I wanted to ask you a question about the whole mindset thing. Obviously you had a action sports background, traveling the world, doing movies, and then you had some family stuff happen, and your mindset is still in this great place of, like, we're on this side. Let's maximize everything we can to be on this side of the dirt. Let's live life. Let's have fun. Where did you get that mindset from? And how do you keep it?
Yeah. Well, and it was a tough one because once again, going downhill with Heather for years, it took my mind down to a bad place. But I came across some different mindset mentors. I mean, obviously the well-known one would be Tony Robbins, kind of that type of thing. But
Mhm.
uh, guy that's semi-local in Arizona, Michael Burnoff. I went to a live seminar there with him, and you consistently follow when you're in a group. You follow and people support each other. Another guy that's on YouTube, Rob Dial, breaks it down pretty easily in about 15-minute shows that he does, and actual mindset training. And there's a lot to it, although I really only take in the part of really just being grateful for what I have. I mean,
Mm.
that's what you really just need to. I wake up every day just laying in bed and just saying, hey, thanks for, I got a great roof, I got food, I got health, I get to go do the things I'd love to do. And not like what you don't have, because yes, I can name off some things that are
Sure.
not good, and you're aware of those things, but you need to just kind of put them aside. And even as your day goes along, just going, it's amazing, and you even think about things of, like, when you're in third world countries and see people that just have nothing and have no ability to be able to go anywhere and get anywhere, and they're happy people too, because they're
Yeah.
happy with what they've got, and they've got
Right.
their family and their love and their things. But I don't look down at them, but I just am grateful for everything that I do have. So I
Yeah.
mean, once you do that and you just keep it in your head, it just makes you happy from within, and just roll it out.
That's great, Don. The attitude of gratitude. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love a lot of those guys. You talked about Josh Dials, definitely one of those. I listened to him as well.
But Rob
Um,
Dial.
Rob Dial, sorry, Rob Dial. Rob Dial is great with all those motivations, and those 15-minute increments on his podcasts are awesome. So that was great, because a lot of times people in difficult situations may reach for the wrong things, whether it be alcohol or other stuff. But it was great that you reached for the mountain bike. You reached for, like, mindset mentorships. I mean, that was great. Did you have a friend that kind of pushed you in that direction, or was that something you were just intrinsically like, I'm gonna go check that out?
Yeah, I just ended up coming across it, just looking, soul searching in myself, and ended up, coming once again. Tony Robbins is one that everybody knows, but then just branching from that. And then I forget how I got a hold, or got to end up following Michael Burnoff and going to one of his seminars out in Arizona, which are, amazing when you're with 400 people and it's, uplifting, and you're actually doing book stuff, and you're asking and answering certain questions, part of it. But anyway, it's quite a experience. And then following these mindset mentors, and not tricks, but I mean, the right
Yeah.
way to have your head on, and move forward and love life and prioritize, like I say, and it's motivated me now to, you know, I mean, I've lost my mom since, like I say, that Sonny Miller or Tom Sims. And I mean, I'm sure you and everybody knows dozens of people that are gone, and cancer has affected everybody
Right.
somehow. So I look at all that as a motivator, you know, to like say, you know what, I'm going to live this life as good as I can and as much as I can, and doing the things I love to do while I can, because yeah, we are all going to end up on the other side of the dirt. So enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah.
A great one.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. I love how you look at that and you say that, because it's true to have that attitude of gratitude and to just be kind of looking at what you have and being grateful for what you have versus looking at everything that you don't have. I mean, what a bummer would that be to just go around all day like, I don't have that, I don't have that, I didn't do this yet, I didn't do that. But when you're on the other side, you feel better when you're talking about things that you have, things that you want to achieve, things that you're working towards. You know, you're gaining a little bit every single day. And I see a lot of times when you're on the trail, like you got one of the biggest smiles on your face when you're out there. And you always have that mindset too of rock on, let's go live life. And even when we're breaking down some of the features, like this could be dangerous if we hit it this way, or how much speed do we need when we hit it this way? And we look at you, and one of your favorite lines that you always say is, fellas, let's just figure it out when we get there.
Just do it.
You know,
Nike has the best hashtag ever. Just do
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Just do it. Just do it. We got UO SoCal says, the stuff I saw this man do at Sky Park was insane. So see Szabo, you're living life and rocking on and having fun, and we're all like, wow, this dude's got some talent. So and
There's not that many hard things to do at Sky Park. That's just a little fun park thing. But whatever. And once again, I mean, if you look at, I mean, madness going on. I think it was South Africa or somewhere. I saw some crazy thing that was just huge jumps, like moto-sized jumps for mountain bikes, you know. And obviously Canada somewhere I'd like to get to, and there's parks and other things that are insanity. But like I say, for our local fun, we're just getting it done.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about trail talk. Before we go, Timothy Haley says, love the mindset coming from a combat veteran. Riding is great therapy to deal with things. It sure beats alcohol and drugs.
Good
Yeah.
man, Timothy. Yep.
Right.
That's the
Smart
right,
man.
for sure. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So speaking of like riding around, let's talk a little bit about trail talk, the trail talk part of our show. If people are listening in and they're like, where would I find Don Szabo? Where does Don Szabo like to ride? What are some of your favorite trails?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just saw the Trail Dogs threw out that Dark Fest. Yeah, look up that Dark Fest thing. It's insanity. It's
Nice.
like a blast. I could almost picture just getting a toe in on that whole thing, but I don't know if I'm gonna roll with those consequences at 54. So
You just got another one. UO SoCal says Szabo needs to go to
right.
Dark Fest.
I don't know. Like I say, I can totally picture. I've been towed in the, like I say, 100, 120s on Moto. You know, quite often. You know, once again throwing out names. You know, by Seth or Deegan or Metzger, and anyway, guys that like, you know, they know the speed. They've already done the jump, so you know, if you take their same speed, then you can click the 120. Just rolling their same. But anyway. Where were we though? Talking
Yeah.
about where to ride?
Yeah, where would we find if we were at a trail, we look up and go, man, I think Don Szabo might be out here. Where are some of your top trails that you like to ride on a more consistent basis?
Yeah. Well, and I like to ride Greer, which is right out your way. I mean, I like rocks, you know, because like I say at Sky Park, there's not really much rocks to like ping pong. I love just riding like a rabbit, and even just little bumps, you know, little rocks. Like, oh, I can ping off of this one and then land over there, and just making, you know, flowy type lines. So, you know, Greer or even up at Simi Valley at Rocky Peak, those are neat rock type places.
Okay.
And let's say I got Laguna in the backyard that I haven't even got around to all that much, because I've been, like I say, exploring out to some other places. And you know, you have been to Vale, that was a new one, and that Noble Canyon, and Ted's I went to again recently. That was really neat. And
Yeah.
like I said, I like to just mix it up. So I'm gonna go to, well, I just got back from Sedona, and then northern Utah, and then western Colorado and southern Utah. And that's about a week and a half. I'm gonna head up to Santa Cruz, and then the crew will probably go back. Well, they will, that's for sure. That's what happened in Sedona. I went with a 10-pack of a cool e-bike crew I hang out with.
Yeah.
And they all came back to California, and then I went and did the rest of the loop for another week and a half. So this one, I'll Santa Cruz, which I've never been to, and then I'll go visit friends in Mammoth and in Tahoe, and maybe stretch it and do an Oregon loop again. So we'll see. I just wing it, because that's another thing.
That's so cool. So, yeah, for folks who don't know, Don Szabo has he's got this awesome build out van that he can travel in and pretty much go anywhere he wants to. And I'll get text message pictures of sunsets in some remote location. Like, hope you're doing well, dude. Just living life. Check out this sunset. I'm always like, oh man. We got a couple folks in the audience.
Man.
Yeah. It's a place of peace, isn't it? Beautiful place of peace. Brings you peace. Yeah, John Milligan, A-Line. Yeah, so John Milligan is on. He says, new life goal, ride A-Line with Don Szabo. That's up at Whistler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'd be one of those nice, right? Let's make it happen, boys. Let's get it. We'll bring Debbie with us too, one of the producers here. Debbie Crow, she says, I just watched some of the Dark Fest footage. Insane.
Totally. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Drew, MTBDH says, love Laguna, especially the Aliso side.
Yep, that's the side I live on.
We have Thomas Harper here. He says, here from La Utah. Am I saying that right? I'm probably butchering that. I'm sorry, Thomas. But welcome aboard. Thanks for being on with Don Szabo.
Yeah, I just got some goods in Utah.
Yeah, you did. You just saw George, one of the guys from the Reckless Riders. He moved out there, and you guys are doing some insane stuff.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
MTB Rad Dad, happy birthday, Adam Miller. You're on the line. Only here for a few minutes. Wanted to say hi. Hope you're eating some birthday cake.
Dad.
Adam Mock says, dual Adams are on the line. Trail Doc says, Adams unite. Oh, we're going down a rabbit hole. Dude, Rad Dad's just laughing. We got the fist bumps going on.
Nice.
Adam Mock. Okay.
That's a little local crew right there.
Yeah, look at that crew right there. Thomas Harper says, if you like rock features, Utah has it.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh, yeah. No, I rode some killer stuff in Utah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you rode out there. Is that a little bit of the tech that you like, the rocky tech, but some flow too, and then obviously some big jumps? Or what was it all over the place, or was it a little bit of each?
Yeah, it was a little bit of, because when I went up by George's, what we ended up riding, because I think probably coming up, the higher stuff will be open. That is more rocky, but whatever we ended up more sessioning kind of jump stuff, which is like as nutty as you want to get. Like, once again, if you call it an A-line, I'm not doing the A-line. I'm just a B rider there, because there was some heavy jumps, and he had some of that stuff right in Provo in his backyard, and we went and rode Salt Lake area, similar thing, little kind of jump areas, but yeah, like somebody just said there, St. George, I did ride St. George, and that was awesome. That was some good rock and tech and stuff too. So I love it all, though. If I'm on two wheels, I'm just laughing and happy, and as long as it's giving me some fun, flow and go, I'm stoked.
Yeah, so true. That's true. I've seen you so happy out there. Thomas Harper, St. George and Moab. Isn't that where Red Bull is, like Virgin, Hurricane, St. George? It's all out that way, right?
Kind of. I didn't get to the Red Bull area. I think Virgin's where I'd like to check out sometime. But yeah, I rode Moab. I forget the name of the loop I got sent to, but it was awesome. And then, like I say, yeah, some St. George stuff was good. Zentail was really fun. Says mountain bike Rad Dad.
Yeah, Rad Dad. Zentail was really fun.
Back out there, that's for sure.
So much stuff. So basically, the trail talk is for Don Szabo, anywhere he can get to on his bike are his favorite trails. But if you were having to narrow it down to say your top two, and I'm sure they could change, as you experience more trails, but what would be your top two trails as of today?
Well, now trails or areas?
Let's go with ooh, geez Louise. Let's go with trails, and then we'll expand it out to one area.
That's a tough one too, because I'm kind of like I say,
You like it all. Let's
like
go with
it all kind of thing. But and I don't even remember the one that I'm thinking of at Greer, because once again, that is a place that I do end up going a decent amount, just because I've got some cool groups and people that I meet up with out there. And what's that one called? It's it's like MTB, but
oh
TMB. That was it. Yeah,
TMB.
TMB. That's a
Yeah,
fun one. Yeah, it's got some
TMBDH.
rocks, it's got some jumps, got some flow and go, and jump down. It's a sweet one. I like that whole tune.
Dude, how would I have known? I should have guessed that would have been one of your favorite. That's one of the gnarliest ones out there.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
yeah. And
anything?
Rocky Peak has some
Yeah.
stuff kind of like that too. And once again, I'm terrible with names. I'm just, Grudge and Hummingbird, and I forget further back out. Anyway, I just like to rock and roll. I don't know.
Yeah, no, those are some great areas, Don. You do a good. Trail Dog says we got to get you out to Hold the Crooks.
Yeah, no, I did get out there once, and that's fun too. Yeah, I clicked, like I said, the good size 4-pack of jumps down the hill to like some main kind of cross jump area. It was good, 30-footer or something at the end.
That's awesome. Jeez, my gosh, that's right. That's the four corners.
Again, there are guys that, and I've seen some stuff that are pretty heavy, and I could have to kind of think about it, about doing some of the heavier stuff. I don't think I'm at that level.
I don't know.
I'm trying to stay in one piece. Like I say, 10 surgeries under my belt. I'm trying not to go too much.
Yeah. Well, we should probably just not show you these things, because you're always like, I'm just going to take it easy. And then you're like, that's his definition of taking it easy. Oh, what's up, Octodad MTB? Marty Richards is on the line. I believe he is out of, are you out of New Zealand? Let me know. Pop it into the comments. I know you are definitely far from here. Thomas Harper says lots of chunky at Mount Wilson. MTB Rad Dad, he just actually went to Holda. Lots of fun. UO SoCal says Suicide Trail. Have you done that one, Don?
Yeah, I did that with George actually. So that was fun. That was when he lived out here. So now, I think I've got his crew that I can kind of connect with, but I'm kind of connected with this other crew. I just haven't reached out. But yeah, that was some neat stuff for sure.
Yeah, man. That is awesome. MTV Truck Talk says Sammy used to build at Rampage, and I believe that's the gentleman who's building out there at Holda. I actually went on a ride with Aaron from the Trail Dogs, and he's like, check this out. So we hiked up around this corner, and these things just come from the top, and they just almost straight vert. You have to do like a little road gap, and then you just launch into this. It's not even a moon booter at that point. I think it's like a galaxy booter where you just are sent.
Straight up, like a step up. That's just,
I
don't know. It's a different kind of jump too. I prefer ones that you click and then, you lose your stomach on the way down, not just, but ups are actually good to learn tricks and things. And then you can do your trick or whatever, and then you just land up there.
Yeah.
But
true.
My favorites are, like I say, just flowing and clicking and dropping and winging and zinging.
Yeah. getting in the flow. Yeah, Octodad's out of New Zealand. Thanks for joining us all the way from New Zealand, man. I appreciate it. Right. I don't know what time it is out there, but that's pretty rad.
I've been to New Zealand for, like I said, I've been a lot of places around the world for snowboarding. I haven't been there for a long time, but yeah, Australia, New Zealand, good stuff, mate.
God, I can only imagine New Zealand must have some insane trails because of the topography there.
Yeah,
must be really, really good. He says, how's the new YT bike? He asked the Octodad from New Zealand.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else can I say? I do what I love to do. You're going to ask tech stuff. You're asking the wrong guy. You might want to ask this guy. Got to do the finger thing the wrong way.
Yeah. He says, Octodad says, Rotorua is really good MTB. Yeah, man, there's just so many great places to travel and to ride. Hopefully we'll be able to get out there one of these days. We'll have to hit A-Line. I'll have to take this crew here. We'll go A-Line. We'll hit Holda, and then we'll all get out to see Octodad out there in New Zealand and ride that. It says Hero Dirt Loam. So very good type of soil. That is awesome. So, okay, moving over from the trail talk to Don Szabo, we're going to go what I call is product spotlight. And I just like to always ask the guests, are there anybody that supports you as a rider, or are there any, companies or products that you use that you just like to give a shout out to?
Well, I mean, back to, YT, like I say, we got the YT family thing, and I feel that way. I'm kind of in that groove, and great trails right there. The mountain bike company that just does it right. So without getting too heavy on that, I'll also give some love out to, Black Flies. For the last 26 years, I still get free shades. I mean, like I say, I'm looking at different stuff that you can't see, but, did a poster with them and, rode for them forever. But, I don't make money anymore, but free shades for life. So it's all good. And
Yeah.
still run my Flesh Gear stuff that, it's from my Moto days, and they're coming around with some new jerseys and this and that. And, well, my local bike shop that I go to, Pro Bike Supply, I mean, Nico's super knowledgeable, and I mean, they just do stuff right. They don't beat around the bush and try to rip you off for stuff. They're fair. They get stuff done when they can. Good people, and that's probably about it.
Yeah.
And Darling's just been keeping me rocking. That's been my music I run with a lot, because just friends of mine that I think are some of the best musicians that should be rock stars. But Adam Moxley and Nico's the man.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Nico at that bike shop out there. It sounds like he's doing a really good job taking care of everybody in the community. I bet it's hard to be, like a bike company, a bike shop in today's world, in the sense that there's just so much you can do and hardly any parts right now.
Yeah.
So they got to get creative.
So backed up. I mean, people are finally figuring out to get out and ride and do things and get out of their cubicles and out in nature and life. So it's been an expanding market on an expanding production market, because overseas and all kinds of lockups and problems. So
right.
But if you got a bike under you, go ride it and have fun on it.
That's right. Trail dogs say I need to get down to that shop, so they need to get down to see him for sure. Now let's quickly, I just want to touch base. Nutrition. Were you getting some nutrition stuff from somebody? Because I always remember seeing, like, you post pictures of you when we're doing like our break at Sky Park. You go to the van, you bust out the table, you'll always have your own food. You're a pretty healthy eater. Is that something you learned as being an athlete all these years in this sport?
Kinda. And I was brought up that way. My dad, that would be 105 years old now, but he was one of the early, like, not sports. Geez, I'm losing it. Like a nutrition nut. That's a wrong word, but anyway, like a health nut. That was it. So health nuts wasn't popular back then, but I was growing up on good food, and I'm just, and being an athlete, trying to put the best stuff into myself. I'm not nuts and over the top on that, but just try to eat healthy, and got my daily vitamins I get around to and some things, but just eat healthy, burn it off, stay active, and keep rolling.
Yeah. MTBD is just nutritionist. Maybe you're looking for that nutritionist word for your dad. Nutritionist or health nut.
Well, health nut was the term, because like I said, back then you almost are considered a nut for eating the certain type of foods, when way back, back in the, who knows, 50s and before, people just ate whatever,
right.
Ate tons of meat, which I don't eat tons, but I don't not eat meat too, everything in moderation, you'll be fine.
It was crazy back then too. They used to prescribe you cigarettes. Like, hey, just smoke some of these and you'll be good. Like, why can't I breathe? What's going on here?
That's ridiculous.
So Don, on this part of the segment, I like to try to find out, when we go from product spotlight, I try to also ask, it used to be like, what are your favorite YouTubers or people like that? And I think what I'm really trying to ask my guests is, who seems to inspire you or keep you going or motivate you? Is there anybody like that kind of pushes those buttons for you?
Well, first thing would come in my head, fellow rider Cab, who's just on, like I say, on another level. Steve Caballero, just
Good one.
like I say, still skating and motoing and artwork and music and whatnot. He's a badass. But on that note, I almost just try to motivate just to keep going, and my whole just overlook in life of enjoy it and do the best you can while you can, because you can't do it forever. So
right.
And who is Dylan? That guy, he rides for YT, and watch his channel, and him and other crazy good riders are just amazing to watch. But a lot of times I don't even bother really tracking all that kind of stuff down, because it's not stuff I'm going to do. Like I say, I just want to keep rolling and have fun.
Yeah. And you definitely doing that too. And those are some great folks that you shouted out. Steve Caballero, what an inspiration that guy is. There is no boundaries on him. He definitely is the whole YT live uncaged. I know he's part of the YT family, so we're able to say, kind of bridge that gap, but you can't put him in a box. He just doesn't fit in any kind of box. He does it all. He does anything, and he learns things. He learns things whenever he wants to. It's just like, man. Dustin Orlando saying legend, just straight up legend. I know we're filling your head right now, Szabo, so keep it in the screen so we can get a good shot of you. Darren's on the line. Darren, the Master Chief, says, hey, Mark and Don, hope I can shred like Don one day. Totally. Thomas Harper says, I'm 65 and still MTBing. That's cool. That's rad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is
another
awesome.
11 years right there, and be hanging out with Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas. Someday we'll be racing wheelchairs.
Yeah. Clean racing, no dirty racing. Clean racing, gentlemen. It's funny. Okay, so Don. Okay, well, let's move into the funny questions part. I just always like to ask these questions because I don't know if people actually hear from previous shows what people have answered, but if you don't mind. Okay, good. I'm going to indulge you into some of these just to hear how you answer these questions. So first question, not mountain bike related at all, but just there's no right or wrong answer, but want to know the whys behind these questions. So first one is cereal a soup? Why or why not? Darren, I said cereal? Yeah, cereal. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
Cereal is not a soup. It's not hot. It's grain based and not meats and vegetables or whatever else. So no, not at all.
There you go. Darren beat me to it as I was asking the question. He said, man, it's not a soup. Right. It's not a soup. Okay. Next up is, okay. Now you have the decoy. So I'm interested to hear how you answer this question. I generally like to ask the guests if they enjoy riding more uphill or downhill, and why for each one.
I'll tell you what, when I rode an acoustic, I suffered uphill. It was never my favorite thing to do, but on the decoy, I actually have fun uphill. You can pick up techie lines and things. It reminds me of Moto. I've jumped 30, 40 feet uphills on Moto when you're, pinning it and hit a rock and whatnot. It's way slower than that, but still you can pick lines. Like I can go up stair steps, which is a local trail in Laguna that, I guess there are some crazy, massive leg or strong climbers that can do it, but there's no way. But now I can ride up the whole thing and pick lines and get techie uphill. But no, downhill's still my favorite. So that's what I'm there for.
Man, the Outdoorsman SoCal says the battery makes uphill fun. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. Now, what about downhill with those e-bikes? How are you liking that downhill? So you're liking the uphill for the tech because you can create new lines. What would you say about the downhill?
Oh, I love it. It's even more planted, I'd say, than an acoustic bike. That weight that's in the pedal area, keeps the thing on the ground better, I believe, so in windy conditions, in all conditions. To me, it's not, let's call it quite as, really flicky on little, park type stuff, but it is awesome and controlled and, like I say, planted and real comfortable and works great. It comes as a mullet also, which makes sense to me, so it's a 27.5 back and a 29 front. like Moto. Moto is always 21 fronts and either 18 or 19 rear. So that's just a geometry that seems natural to me. So it's just natural to jump on it and works great.
Nice. Octodad's with you. He says, Octodad Marty Richards, he says, e-bike uphill is the meaning of life, the most fun you can have with your pants on.
I don't know about that.
Thomas Harper says,
the downhill part works real good too.
Yeah.
I think I get off on my downhill a little more than ups are fun now too.
Yeah.
Going up and down. There you go. We're not going there.
That's right. The most fun you can have with your pants on. Right. Octodad just says, just do it. Don't run out of battery. Yeah. Scouts out up the Central Coast. Mark says, agreed. I felt more comfortable on jumps with the e-bike because of the weight. Yeah, you know what? That's true. Remember when we went to YT and we all got on decoys? We shot out there with we did it twice. Once with Cav and once with Drew Breeze. And both times the e-bike really just grounded us into the turns. I mean, for me, coming off an acoustic into the e-bike was like, wow, once you make a turn into the berm, you were just planted. It felt like I was riding on a magnet. It was like locked in. And then when we rode with Cab, there was an incoming storm. Remember the gusty winds?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that we were going to get pushed around. We were going down jump line. I was thinking, man, I don't know about this. But we were able to get down it, and the winds really didn't. It pushed us around a little bit, but it wasn't like catastrophic,
Yeah, they're not magic. I mean, they definitely can still get blown around, but I think they do get blown around less than a regular acoustic bike. But
yeah. UO Cal says, and your legs aren't burnt for more fun DH. Yeah,
correct.
That's true. That's
totally
true.
So when I went and did that 2-week trip just now, there's no way I could have rode 10 days in a row on my acoustic bike. Lactic acid or whatever. I used to kind of get pissed off legs definitely after 3-4 days in a row riding hard.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work for me. So e-bikes for me is the way to go.
E-bikes are the way to go. And now, congratulations on the new YT Jeffsy that you'll be picking up tomorrow from the YT mill. Yep. Did you go with the Jeffsy? Which core did you get?
I don't even know, to be honest. They're pulling one out of their fleet of some sort. Their demo fleet. So I don't even know. I don't care. It'll work out.
Yeah, I was the same way when I got the call. I was like, "Whatever, Jeffsy sounds good, great. I'm so happy and thankful. Whatever they give me, just write it hard." Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Don. Well, man, it's already been a little over an hour of the time, and we'll go ahead and start to close down the podcast. But before we do, Don Szabo, we know mountain biking is your passion, but what else have you been up to lately?
Well, like I say, when I get in a zone, that's what I'm in. So, I mean, visiting different friends and cooking a little bit and whatnot. But, say, mountain biking on my mind.
Yeah, mountain biking on the mind. And Don, tell everybody where they can find you if they want to follow your journey. Because I know you have some new stuff coming up on the social media side within YouTube and Instagram. Where can people follow you there?
Well, you can probably look up Don Szabo on YouTube because I just started a channel a few months ago and just documenting stuff that I just want to have a place to document my action sports. Most of it is mountain bike stuff now, but every once in a while I go back into some skate or snowboard and maybe even dig out some moto footage. But anyway, so Don Szabo, last name is Szabo. So look that up. In fact, you'd probably find some old Double0 Szabo stuff on my old channel I posted 10 years ago or something. But my new mountain bike show there, the Szabo Show. Do this backwards, but it's right over there.
Yeah.
Szabo Show. Bam.
There it is. Are those brand new stickers you got?
Yeah.
Are those the
one
stickers?
Of my old snowboard graphics. So that was my Slayer graphic, and like I say, I've had 10 snowboard models, so that was that. And then I'm okay with the Double0 thing. So this Adam Mock did that graphic for me, and
he's a genius.
Yeah,
Adam Ox,
So,
a
yeah,
genius. And what's your
go
handle on
Edward.
what's your handle on Instagram? Is it Don Szabo, just Don Szabo on Instagram and on YouTube, or is it the Szabo Show?
Well, no, Don Szabo, I believe, is what will get you there. I mean, I called
Okay,
it the Szabo Show. I
gotcha.
don't think because of my name is Don Szabo, that's the best way.
Okay,
So that, I think you can type that into Instagram and find me, but it's actually spelled out Double0 Szabo, so DOUBLEOSZABO is
gotcha.
my actual Instagram. Don Szabo on Facebook, and that's about it.
Nice.
That's all I need to do. It's enough social.
Yeah, that's a lot of work right there just on those two platforms. But we're lucky to be able to ride with you and see you out there and to follow you on Instagram. Give Don Szabo a follow, guys, if you're listening to this live or if you are on the audio version in podcast land. Don Szabo on YouTube, Double0 Szabo on Instagram, and you'll see him shredding with a lot of different writers and a lot of folks that are here on the line tonight will be in the background on some of those pics. Don, is there anything else you wanted to share with everybody before we closed it out tonight?
Just once again, I might be older than some of your other watchers, and I just want to let you know this old saying I got here that love life and rock on, because it's what you got to do. I mean, I cannot believe I'm 54 years old. I'm still doing what I love to do at a level that I'm having fun with, but it just goes by so quick. I mean, I can't believe, once again, from 9 years old, first time I got a skateboard till now, it's been 45 years. I mean, crazy, but it's been a great ride and a lot of great chapters, and just got to keep going. Love life.
That's right.
Rock on, buddy. What else can you do?
You love life and rock on. Thank you all so much for thank you guys all so much for being on the segment podcast time with Don Szabo, the Legend of Don Szabo. Love it. Thank you, Don.
Good vibes. Always.
Yeah, brother. You.